So, today we're diving deep into those moments. We're going to explore what's really happening when your computer acts up, especially around this whole idea of computer viruses.
Hmm.
But we'll also look at something maybe a bit surprising, how these technical glitches have actually kind of shaped our everyday language.
Yeah, what's truly fascinating here is how concepts like, a computer virus don't just mess with our hardware, they actually weave their way into how we talk about stuff going wrong.
Right?
So, our mission for this deep dive is to unpack what a computer virus actually is, understand the subtle ways it can affect your devices, and maybe the most surprising bit, reveal how we talk about these digital ailments using phrases that go way beyond just tech talk.
Okay.
We'll try to extract some key insights to help you navigate your tech world and maybe even your own conversations with a little more clarity.
Sounds good. So let's start with that nightmare scenario you hear about all the time. Your computer just froze again.
Ugh.
And not just once, but like
Oh,
the third time today. That feeling, that immediate frustration is just so relatable. You're probably thinking, why me? Why now?
definitely. And when we say a computer freezes, it's more than just a little pause, right?
Yeah.
It's everything stops. Your operating system, the apps you had open, whatever program you were running, they've all stopped responding. You literally can't do
Oh,
anything.
it's like
It's
that.
temporary, but total breakdown. The system just isn't processing commands anymore. Could
Yeah.
be overload, could be a software fight, or
Yeah, what we often jump to. Right. And as soon as that happens, what's the very first thought that pops into most people's heads? It's almost always, ugh, it must have a virus or something.
the go-to explanation.
It's our knee-jerk reaction for any tech problem we can't immediately explain. But is it, always a virus? Or are there other common things people mistake for one?
That's a really good point because, yeah, virus is often the first suspect,
Right.
but it's actually a specific kind of malicious software.
Okay.
Technically speaking, a computer virus isn't just any old bit of bad code. It's a specific type of malware designed to hook itself onto legitimate programs or files.
Yeah, okay.
And this is the key part. It tries to replicate itself, make copies.
So it spreads.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That replication is how it spreads and causes all sorts of damage,
Mm-hmm.
messing up data, maybe even letting someone else control your system. So it's not just harm, it's this kind of sneaky self-propagating harm.
Gotcha.
And when you suspect the virus, what do you usually do? You run a scan, right?
Yeah, first thing.
That scan is looking specifically for infected files. An infected file is pretty much what it sounds like. It's a normal file, like a document or program file, that this malicious code has managed to get inside of.
So the virus code is like hiding in there.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
embedded itself, maybe changing how the file works or just using it as a ride to spread further.
Mm-hmm.
It's not uncommon, unfortunately, for a scan to turn up a lot of infected files, which can be pretty scary. It suggests the infection isn't just one file, it's kind of gotten around.
Yeah, and that's where the confusion often hits, right? You see infected files and you think, but I'm quite careful, when I'm browsing the internet. I have no idea how I could have picked up a virus.
Mm-hmm.
It really highlights that common idea that you only get viruses if you're like clicking on dodgy links or downloading weird attachments. But it's often way more subtle than that these days, isn't it? How do these things actually get onto our machines?
Oh, it absolutely is more subtle now. And this brings us straight to the crucial role of your main line of defense, antivirus software.
Right. The protector.
Exactly. This software is built to spot, block, and get rid of viruses. It does this by looking for known virus signatures, like digital fingerprints, or watching for um, suspicious kinds of behavior from programs.
Yeah.
But here's the really critical part, something our source material really hammers home. You have to make sure your antivirus software is updated regularly.
Okay, that's the key phrase, updated regularly. Why is that so important?
Well, think about it. When your software is not up to date, it basically means it doesn't have the latest information. It doesn't have the newest signature files or the patterns for spotting the brand new threats that cyber criminals are cooking up literally every day.
Ah, so it's like having an old wanted poster.
Exactly. It's like a security guard who only recognizes criminals from 5 years ago. The new ones can just waltz right past. This is often what was causing your problems. Your defense system just wasn't equipped for the latest threats. Malware evolves constantly, so your protection has to keep pace.
That whole concept of up to date is just so fundamental, isn't it? Not just for computers, but for loads of things. Our material had some great sort of everyday examples. Like,
Yep.
It's not just tech. You might say, I need to buy a new computer because mine isn't up to date, meaning, the hardware or software is too old for modern stuff.
Sure, can't run the new programs?
Or if you're lost, you might ask, I can't find the street. Are you sure this map is up to date? Because an old map is pretty useless, right?
Totally useless.
And in work, you might hear, Sarah has just finished the reports and all the information is up to date, meaning it's current, it's accurate, and you can rely on it.
Precisely. And bringing it back to your computer's health and security, that concept, up to date, is just paramount. It's the difference between having a shield that works against today's evolving threats and one that only stops the dangers from years ago. Staying current software, and so even your own knowledge is your best defense.
Right. Now, moving beyond the techie definitions, what's also really interesting is how we actually talk about these tech problems. We seem to have this whole vocabulary that's become second nature when our computers mess up. It makes these sort of abstract digital issues feel a bit more relatable, almost human.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the scenario we looked at, someone's told their PC is acting up again. Why do we say things like that? Acting up. It sounds like a moody teenager or something.
Uh-huh. Well, maybe it feels like that sometimes. But yeah, it's because it helps us grasp something that's inherently complex and, frankly, impersonal.
Mm-hmm.
We personify it a bit.
Yeah.
Acting up is just such a natural, common phrase. It's how we describe anything that's acting strangely or not working properly. And like you said, it applies to so much more than computers.
Totally.
You could easily say, this TV is always acting up.
Yeah.
If it keeps flickering or losing the signal.
Or my old car.
Exactly. When the weather is cold, my car acts up. Struggles to start. Runs rough.
Yeah.
It's a great, versatile phrase for any kind of unpredictable, annoying behavior. We kind of give these inanimate objects a bit of personality when they misbehave.
Yeah, definitely. And when someone needs help with a computer that's acting up, you often hear these quick promises, right? Like in the dialogue, the person says, just give me a second, I'll be right up. That phrase, I'll be right up, or, down, out there. It's such a common way to quickly say, you're coming to help or just coming soon.
It is. It implies immediacy, doesn't it? Like, I'm on my way, won't be long. It conveys a sense of urgency or at least immediate intention.
Yeah.
It's super versatile. Think about it. Come downstairs, dinner's ready. Okay, I'll be right down.
Or the classic bathroom example from the source.
Oh, yeah. Hurry up, I need to use the bathroom. Just a minute, I'll be right out.
Mm-hmm.
We've all been on one side of that conversation, probably both. It's just a simple, effective shorthand for I acknowledge the need and I'm coming immediately, whether it's dinner, the bathroom, or rescuing someone from a frozen computer screen.
Absolutely. And then there's that moment after all the fiddling and troubleshooting, the moment of discovery. We found a great phrase for this in the material. It turns out that.
Ah, yes. The reveal.
Exactly. It's what you say when, new information finally sheds light on what was actually going on, maybe after some digging, or just when something unexpected pops up.
Right, like resolving a mystery.
Yeah. For instance, Frank didn't come to work today, and maybe later you find out, and it turns out that he was sick.
Okay, makes sense. Cause and effect discovered later.
Exactly. Or for something more surprising, maybe life-changing, imagine someone saying, I've been feeling really off recently, and, well, it turns out that I'm pregnant.
Whoa, okay, yeah, that's a big, turns out
Right.
odd.
It just perfectly captures that sudden clarity, often unexpected, that arrives after a period of uncertainty or confusion.
And these phrases, acting up, be right there, turns out that they're so embedded in how we talk every day because they help us navigate these situations smoothly. They're not just computer terms.
Not at all.
They're fundamental parts of how we communicate about, well, unexpected problems, promises of help, new discoveries, whether it involves a person, a car, or, yeah, a computer that's decided to freeze up. Understanding them just makes you more fluent in, well, life.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of misbehaving computers, we've all felt that surge of pure frustration, maybe even the urge to physically lash out, like the anecdote about wanting to, kick or hit the computer when it freezes solid.
Oh, I think we can all relate to that impulse,
Yeah.
even if we don't act on it.
It's a very human reaction, even if it's totally unhelpful. But beyond that momentary outburst, what's the actual first step we should be taking when our computer starts doing this weird stuff?
Well, yeah, kicky, it might feel good for a second, but it definitely won't fix the software glitch or the virus.
Uh-huh. Probably make it worse.
Probably. The real immediate actions are about prevention and diagnosis. So again, running a solid virus scan. And crucially, making absolutely sure that antivirus software is updated. That's your first line of defense, your proactive health check for your digital self, making sure it's ready for what's out there now.
Right. And sometimes the signs are maybe even more subtle than a complete freeze, aren't they? Our source mentioned a personal experience where a computer was turning on and then suddenly turning off by itself.
Oh, yeah, random shutdowns.
Or just shutting down by itself. Even if you run a virus scan and it comes back saying no problem, that kind of weird, erratic behavior is still a really strong signal that something's not right. So why would a scan come back clean if there clearly is a problem? Could it be, like the material suggests, because the antivirus itself isn't up to date?
That's a really critical point, and yes, absolutely. A clean scan from outdated antivirus software can give you a dangerous false sense of security. It means your security guard, going back to that analogy, hasn't been briefed on the newest threats. They don't have the latest mugshots, so to speak.
So new viruses just slip by.
They can, yeah. Some advanced types of malware, like things called rootkits, are specifically designed to hide themselves from detection tools. Or the threat might be so new, what we call a zero-day threat, that no signature exists for it yet in your software's database.
Okay, wow. 0 day.
Yeah. So even if you get a clean scan result, if your computer's acting strangely, shutting down randomly, running super slow, weird pop-ups, that definitely warrants more investigation. And the very first step of that investigation should be making sure your security software is fully updated. then run the scan again.
Got it.
So you see, it becomes this kind of continuous cycle, doesn't it? You experience some strange behavior,
Right, something's acting up.
which prompts you to run a scan. Then you realize, maybe critically, the need to ensure your antivirus is absolutely up to date so it can actually catch the latest stuff. And all the while, having the right words to describe what's happening makes a difference too.
Yeah.
Understanding these connections just empowers you as a user. It helps you not just react when things go wrong, but also proactively protect your digital space.
Okay, so let's try and bring it all together then. We've unpacked quite a lot today. We kicked off with that universal frustration of a frozen computer and moved into defining what a computer virus really is, that self-replicating program designed to cause specific harm. We looked at infected files, how the virus gets into other files, and then the absolute crucial need to keep your antivirus software up to date, meaning it has all the latest info, the newest threat definitions to actually protect you.
Couldn't stress that enough.
And finally, we explored how our everyday language kind of beautifully captures these tech troubles using these really vivid, common phrases like something acting up, or that quick promise, I'll be right up, and that moment of discovery when it turns out that this was the cause all along.
Exactly. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, thinking about our overall digital well-being, understanding these basics really does empower you.
How so?
Well, it not only helps you protect your devices more effectively because you know why you're doing things like updating.
Right, it's not just clicking a button.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it also lets you articulate your issues much more clearly and effectively if you do need to ask for help. It gets you past just saying it's broken. And this raises an important question about staying current.
Right. So thinking about that, in a world where our digital lives are just constantly changing, evolving so fast, and new threats seem to pop up every single day, how does that idea of being up to date maybe extend beyond just our software? What about like our own knowledge and vigilance in keeping ourselves safe online?
Maybe the final thought for everyone listening is, what small proactive steps can you take today to make sure your whole digital life isn't acting up?